nations under one groove.
Hello and welcome to today's presentation. 6 years ago, an amazing and quite unique musical project began. The Three Nations Under One Groove project is a wonderful meeting of young jazz minds from Germany, Netherlands and the United Kingdom. The three groups meet each year, rehearse and tour, taking it in turns to perform to packed houses in the United Kingdom, Germany and Netherlands. This year, if our pending European decoupling wasn't enough to deal with, the project had to deal with the small problem of the pandemic. Live rehearsing and performing was simply impossible. But like many others, we worked together online. We met, warmed up, we had discussions, we received leading guests, we recorded, we socialised, just as we normally do, but we did it all online. Today we want to share with you some of those moments. I'll be discussing the project with the Three Nations music directors and some of the musicians involved. And we'll take a look at the fruits of their labours in the form of 3 amazing multi-screen videos created and assembled by each country. I'm looking forward to speaking with music director 𝗠𝗿𝗸 and Uri Rodenborg from the Netherlands, to Niels Klein, music director, Paul Albrecht, drummer from Germany, and to Mark Armstrong and to bassist Gabby Carberry from England. But before that, let's take a brief look at some of the activities that took place in the first week of September this year.
Three nations under one groove.
Welcome to Three Nations Under One Groove 2020.
One trick pony.
We want you to meet and to connect and to network best for lifetime.
So you all are invited warmly to learn something new from each other and to step beyond one's borders, and we all create this week together.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And we also really enjoyed the MD's talks.
Try and make the melody light. Keep it right, keep it moving, keep it bubbly. Really, really excited to see what this sounds like when it's all done.
And it starts off with this da-da-da-da-da-da, and if you play like the fourth note, da-da-da-ba-da-da-da, don't start with a heavy accent, try to fit in the line. I like this to be an experiment, and I have no idea how it turns out.
It's a happy piece, it's an energetic piece. You have those open bars. The only thing why I like jazz is the unexpected. You don't know what will happen in 5 seconds, you don't know what will happen in 5 minutes.
I played loud and you hear.
Most of the section players really enjoyed the warm-up sessions because we had nice talks with the string players, and the drummers and pianists had good sessions, so that was really nice.
Most of us really exchanged and not consumed anything that was happening on the screen, but really getting in touch, and we would like to have more of these section time.
We were really happy with the masterclasses of Miho and of Maria Snyder.
What is a good way to get your music out to other bands?
Be releasing something, be making something, and then, to show everyone that you're working on something and you create something.
What are your ideas for the future? More jokes and see everyone in real life.
There are many possible projects how we could collaborate.
This captured a really nice community spirit. When you go on residential trips, the thing you remember at the end of it is often like you remember the characters. There are people that really stick out. And I thought that translated well over Zoom.
We all share common values and we share a love and commitment to this music and everything that stands for. So, let's keep that going.
For all those people who said, the days were really long and we're really tired, it's good.
It's a beginning of something new. We are going to meet and we are going to play together, and I've to thank you all for this week so much, and see you hopefully soon in real life.
Bye bye.
Three nations under one groove.
Well, that gives you a glimpse of the amazing activities that took place, and it was really enlightening to hear some feedback from the musicians involved too. We'll be hearing more about their experiences later, but first, let's take a look at the first video created and assembled by the National Youth Jazz Orchestra of Great Britain. I'm pleased to welcome Mark Armstrong, Artistic Director of NYJO, just to give us a little bit of background to his composition, Coastbound. Mark, hi. Can you tell us a little bit about Coastbound? What's this piece about, and how difficult was it to write for such a huge ensemble?
Sure. Well, I've written for BuJazzO and NYJO together before for our previous collaborations, but it took some time to work out how to write for a third group too, and particularly one with such a different lineup to the big band format. It was great though to have the opportunity to write for strings and for the wider range of woodwinds in the current NJJO lineup, and I wanted to use those instruments to give a different colour but also incorporate more contemporary classical motives and ideas into the piece to sit alongside the big band writing, which is more straight ahead jazz. So eventually I realised that I could arrange a tune from my quartet album called Coastbound, which represents a family holiday to the continent, with a section all about the sort of excited stresses of getting packed and leaving, and then followed by two sections for the trip. So first, the release of getting away and driving through England to the coast, followed by crossing the Channel and then driving to the other side of Europe and on the other side of the road. And that's represented by the key change in my piece. So each band and a soloist from each band takes one section from the piece, with our percussionist Alex gluing the groove together through the different fields, and vocalists from all the bands are featured too. So as the piece progresses, more and more of the sections from the different bands begin to blend and play together, which represents the way all the NYJO, BuJazzO and NJJO musicians blend in different configurations and jam when we get together in real life. At the end, the whole group plays as one enormous orchestra with all three rhythm sections too, and the idea is to unify all of the different elements to produce a big cooperative climax, which is much like the concerts we normally do at the end of our project when we tour the music we've just been rehearsing. I really love my time on holiday in Europe with my family, and also I've been so lucky as a professional musician to tour extensively, and that's been a great privilege, and it's generated many fond memories and some really great gigs over the years. And I chose this piece to arrange because we were all obviously disappointed not to make the trip again in person this year and meet all our friends and colleagues again in Germany. I wanted to say something also about how important our cultural connection to Europe remains, no matter what political decisions have been taken recently, and my hope that we can continue this connection and artistic exchange well into the future for the good of all the young musicians involved in our organisations.
Thanks, Mark. That's a fantastic insight, and also some really lovely sentiments shared with us there, which I think we all agree with. I think it's time to take a look and a listen. Here it is. Well, I'm sure you'll agree that was a mesmerising display of musicianship and artistry from the combined forces of NYJO, BuJazzO and NJJO ensembles. Three nations working together in perfect harmony to produce an absolutely fantastical musical realisation of this work from NYJO's Mark Armstrong. We move on now to the second of our three pieces, and here's Niels Klein to talk about the titular Three Nations Under One Groove. Niels, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Roger. Yeah, obviously I wrote my composition especially for this situation with the three orchestras playing together. And I pretty much see it as more like a jingle or the main theme of the project, maybe. That's why I named it Three Nations Under One Groove, just like our project. And it started really with the idea about the video. So I had this idea just to crowd everybody in the orchestras on the screen and have them there and just switch them on and off when they have something to play. So I could paint like pictures on the screen with the orchestration. And I'm really glad we came up with the idea of switching them from black and white to color so that you can see the whole orchestra in the background, even if they are not playing. And yeah, then I was going a little bit for the more not obvious instrumentations in the band, trying something for all the woodwinds, all the brass, so many woodwind players and brass players in this combination. And I tried to write something for the three rhythm sections also. There's a little thing for three electric basses, which you wouldn't hear maybe. And of course, I tried to present as many soloists as possible too. So I think there are about 25 little solos in those 5 minutes. That was really important to me. And I tried to create situations where the different bands play together across the nation borders, kind of. So yeah, we'll have a NYJO soloist playing to the BuJazzO rhythm section with the NJJO people accompanying him. And yeah, I had a little fun with it, obviously, and didn't back away for some maybe stupid ideas, but that was really the point of it, to have a little fun with this three orchestras. And maybe just a little fact about that. The basic idea, I was in a tight schedule to write this piece because I was kind of in the middle of another big commission, so I cleared 2 days of my schedule to write this particular piece, and the night before I was laying in my bed and I had this really embarrassingly stupid idea that the key of G flat, if you write it on paper as a chord symbol, it's GB, which is like Great Britain, and the German B natural is often referred to as an H, which is Holland, so the Netherlands, and Deutschland is the German for Germany, of course, as a big D. So I laid the whole piece out in those three tonalities, and you will hear like these opening statements from each band is in their own national key, you could say. And I think that was a really stupid idea, but sometimes it just takes a stupid idea to write a piece. So that was fun for me to do.
Thanks, Niels. Nothing stupid about that at all. In fact, pretty interesting, pretty fascinating. Let's take a look at Three Nations Under One Groove.
nations under one groove.
The stunning Three Nations Under One Groove, written by Niels Klein and played by these three amazingly talented young jazz ensembles. We're now joined by Martin Fonse, Music Director of the National Jazz Orchestra, otherwise known as the NJJO. Martin, a warm welcome to you. Tell us about your work and the idea behind this intriguing title, White Russians.
Yes, White Russians. As you probably might know with your own experience in music, White Russian is a cocktail, and it was one of the things, or actually the only thing, that the main character in the Big Lebowski, the dude, drank. So having this experience of being part of this fantastic project over a few years now, I know that not only the onstage friendship, musicality is very important, but also the offstage one. So I decided to focus more on the social behavior that we couldn't have now. So this is an idea of White Russians is an idea that you assemble a cocktail and you drink it, and then you have to deal with the consequences of your actions. So which ends up in a kind of let's say, kind of headache situation, which will be followed with a kind of euphoria, leading into some other, we will see it, where it leads to. But I thought to write a piece that has a lot of energy, that resembles the energy that we have when we are having our jam sessions past the rehearsals, you know. And so I decided also to write a piece that refers to things that are traditional, like it is a kind of rhythm changes, but it really doesn't work like it. Somehow in the middle it goes in another direction. The melody is a kind of jumpy and angular, because it's not really a melody. And then what I also wanted to do is that everybody of the whole orchestra, so let's say 80 people, would have a solo, because what I said already in the intro, why I am a jazz musician, because I don't know what will happen in 5 seconds. So I thought if everybody solos, then my part will be to create a kind of ideal solo at the end. So of all those 80 people that sent me music, this surprising thing for me would be that I create the ideal solo. Of course, it was not possible to do that, otherwise we would have ended up with a piece that would last for 2 hours or something. Maybe we can do that live in the future. But I think I could make some very nice encounters, some friendships that probably online didn't exist yet. So I assembled my ideal version of White Russians, and I hope that this energy and love and friendship of this social aspect of this fantastic project comes out very well in the end.
Well, thanks for that, Martin. Now we know, and I personally can't wait to hear this musical cocktail that is White Russians. Here it comes. Well, I think you'll agree that certainly was a high-octane cocktail of musical excellence. White Russians, written by Martin Fonza. I hope you'll agree it's been inspiring to hear these three specially written works, not just in terms of the musical wizardry on display, but also in terms of the three distinct approaches taken by Martin, Mark and Niels, who wrote Unshackled to their own brief. Sadly, we're near to the end of this presentation, but before we do bring things to a close, I'd like to welcome back our three music directors and musicians from the three ensembles. I'd like to go all the way over to the Netherlands and speak to Yuri. Hi, Yuri. I just wonder if you can share with us something that you really enjoyed from this experience that was Three Nations Under One Groove.
Yeah, it was well, really fun. It wasn't what we, of course, expected, because we were really excited to go out and meet all the fellow orchestras and play together. But so initially, I was disappointed that it wasn't that. But actually, I had a really positive experience with the Zoom sessions, with the speakers, with the recording, which was actually really fun, because it's not maybe as easy as the editors make it look, because there's 80 people who have to send in the exact same files for the whole piece, and that has to come together somehow. So it's like a huge challenge, but in the end it was really fun, and it got more personal via Zoom than I thought it initially would be. It was fun to go into the breakout rooms, to actually talk to the other orchestra members, to warm up together, to kind of hang out online. So a really positive experience.
Thanks so much. And just staying over in the Netherlands, Martin, how was this experience for you? I guess you weren't sure what to expect before the whole thing got underway, and I'm interested to know how that affected you in terms of writing for the project as well.
Oh no, I didn't know what to expect with 80 people in a Zoom session. And to my surprise, as Yuri said, it was much more intimate. It was much more one-to-one contact that I would have expected. Especially what I really liked was the possibility to talk to great composers like Maria Schneider, Michael Leek and Miho Hazama, and that people could have their questions prepared and really had a one-to-one talk with those people and exchange ideas about music, about life, and about the position of a musician in this life, and especially in these times. So I was really surprised that this whole massive thing also could come to a very small, intimate, and in close contact. And I think that the friendship that you create in real life, when you see each other, also will be created now after this Zoom version of Three Nations Under One Groove.
Thanks so much. And going over to BuJazzO now, and Paul, what were the highlights for you?
Wow, the highlights. I had quite many highlights. It's really crazy. I enjoyed everything from the meeting to the chat room to the recording to the master classes. And also I loved how many people joined the program. I did, like the sports and the stretching and all that. That was fun. I really enjoyed the connections, even if it was just online. So that was really cool, and I had a great time, had a great week to connect a bit and just have fun. It will never replace the experience if you're really together in person. But I think it was really the absolute best that we could make out of that, and it was fun, really, all of it.
Thanks so much, Paul, and I absolutely echo those sentiments, because it's really about community, and we really managed to keep a fantastic community together. I'd also like to ask Niels, just in terms of your work, do you have any more intentions in terms of what's going to happen to this piece? It's amazing, such a fantastic piece is put together for this huge group, but what happens after that? What happens next?
Yeah, there's an interesting question, of course. I mean, it's a piece for the 3 jazz orchestras, so I don't expect to find another combination of 3 jazz orchestras sometime soon anywhere. But hopefully, one day we might be able to play this piece on stage with 3 orchestras. I mean, that would be a great thing to see, to have those visual aspects like in the video come to life on a stage. Yeah, why not? Let's try to make it happen at some point in the future.
Thanks so much for that, Niels. I can certainly see it being on the stage at the Albert Hall as part of a prom, so let's hope for that. I'd also like to ask Gabby. Hi, Gabby. I just wondered, how was the recording process for you? I mean, you hadn't seen or had very little idea of what these compositions were going to be like. So how did you find that experience of putting your part as an essential part of all of the compositions and their recordings?
So it was a bit daunting at first, receiving all this music and knowing that I had quite a short period of time to record it. But it was great fun. I really enjoyed hearing notes from each of the composers, hearing from Mark, for example, tips on recording and ways to approach it and what the theory behind each piece was. I found that really interesting and motivating to get recorded and hear what the final product would be like. I really enjoyed with the 3 nations under one groove. The bassists, we all sent each other the parts that we'd already recorded so that we could hear each other's parts interlocking and having those conversations with them about how they were approaching it. Yeah, it was just a great experience overall.
Brilliant. Great to hear. And Mark, what did you take away from this experience?
Well, for me, it made me realise that no matter what barriers are put in our way, we can find really creative and positive ways to make music happen and to keep that flame alive. So the really difficult period we've been through has taught us that some of the methods we now use to connect with each other, though they're not as ideal as being together in person, they give us the opportunity to learn new skills, and I think they can lead to innovative solutions to current problems. I think we'll continue to use these ideas and assets in the future, and they're going to sit alongside our normal way of doing things. And I also felt that the spirit of enthusiasm, love and togetherness that we have when we're all together seemed to find its way through the electronic ether. And that made me hopeful that, deal or no deal, UK musicians are going to be working with their European colleagues next year and well into the future.
Thanks so much, Mark, and very, very, very important words there that we all have the same hopes for, so thank you. Thanks also to all of our guests on today's presentation. I hope you all enjoyed watching and listening to these amazing pieces as played by 3 world-class jazz ensembles. And I hope you enjoyed the experiences and hearing about their own experiences too. This is a truly extraordinary project and I believe shows what's possible when people wish to work together. Regardless of the obstacle, anything is possible. These 3 groups have proved as much, and without any doubt. Thanks so much for watching, and do continue to follow us on social media. From us all, goodbye.